What is up, podheads? Back with another episode of the Podio Slay podcast. My name is Tonus, and I'm joined as always by Anthony and Nate. Anthony, how you doing?
He did it. He did it. He is real. I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm great. Nate, how are you?
I'm good, but I'm not offended. But like, I am a recreational podhead, so I don't want it to be slanderized per se.
Well, it's legal in Maine to be a podhead.
Okay, good. Yeah,
it's legal across the country to be podheads.
So you're a selective listener. You only for like the big guests.
Yeah, no, I was a medical podhead, you know, because nerderies. What did we say? We looked it up a while ago. Like, music is like therapy.
Therapy, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's recreational, but I don't want it to be like put out there like it's a bad thing. It's good. Good for you.
Well, you also don't want it to like get, you know, capitalized on and taken advantage of, right? You want the narrators continue to be medical grade, and we provide that here at Podio Slave.
We were there from the beginning. Exactly. I don't want to sell it.
And this was supposed to be a short intro, and here we are, tangenting as always, but
off the rails.
Yeah, we love to go off the rails. We had a blast about a month ago. Anthony and I talked to Kevin Hart of Public Opinion. And Kevin Hart, it was awesome. We enjoyed talking with Kevin. He was an absolute blast. And this conversation, it was like we met a friend we had known for 20 years.
Yeah, it's like we went to kindergarten with Kevin, and we're like, remember us? No, we hit it off. And I'll say this, they're from Denver, one of the best bands to come out of Denver. So no shade to like legacy and existing Denver bands, but Public Opinion, man. And he talked about like they have a cool scene there, like that. And you know, we're from the East Coast, we wouldn't know that, you know. Yeah,
you guys got to pitch it to me. I wasn't on this episode, so I'm interested. Like,
well, the new record is called The Curse of Public Opinion. It drops this coming Friday. It's the second LP from the band on Side One Dummy. Huge fans of Side One Dummy and everything they put out essentially at this point. And I remember seeing them come across the feed on Instagram, and I was like, I dig that. I'll remember that. And then we got pitched to talk to Kevin, and we were like, hell yeah. We already were kind of thinking of there might be something we wanted to do to begin with. So
nice.
You would have fit right in with the conversation, Nate. You would have very much enjoyed Kevin, and the record's dope. Like, people should go listen to the record already. Go pre-save it right now if you're on Spotify listening. If you're elsewhere, stop this, go back and do that, and come back to us.
Yeah, if the record's out, like, prioritize listening to the record. Like, this episode's like over an hour. Pause this.
Listen to it twice.
Listen to the record twice. Come back. Listen to this twice.
Like 5 times.
So it's medical / recreational pod music.
Yeah, this is like 500 milligrams of Public Opinion. The record's like 100 milligrams because it's a little shorter than the conversation we're about to have, but this is like 500 milligrams of it. So yeah, it's very recreational.
I mean, it all kind of fits together because I wasn't on the app. There's certain things we can't do all the time. We're fucking old now. But you guys are like the sommelier of recreational nerdery. So obviously I take your word for it.
No, record's a banger. It's got a Vinny Caruana feature. I think
nice. We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know if I say this, but I'm going to say it now. That's a cheat code, right?
It's a cheat code, yeah.
All day.
Yeah, we love, obviously, we're big Vinny and his projects heads here at the Podio Slay podcast, but that was an extra piece that made this more fun for us. Like, well, he had Vinny on too. Like, the record is just really good. And I think it's going to be in my top 5 probably for the end of the year. I'm going to spend more time with it after it drops. Listen to it a little bit before, but I like to, like, day of release, pop it on to try to get them support the scam like we like to do. And I'm excited for other people to hear it. And I think this is a great companion for anybody that is either new to Public Opinion or has been with him for a little while. This is a really good companion to the record.
A pop-up video, if you may.
Yeah.
So is this going to be in your 5 favorite albums of the year list?
Yes.
Ooh, calling it early.
I just said that.
No, I mean,
I didn't listen to you last week. No, you didn't listen to me this week, were you?
No, what I meant was you can do a social media post of 5 favorite.
Oh no, the 5 favorites guy. Yeah, I don't know. You were becoming the 5 favorites guy. I apologize. I didn't get that joke. Yeah, it might be one of my 5 favorites of the year. So far, it is at time of recording in late July. This is definitely in my 5 favorites.
Cool thing about this, and I feel like this is happening kind of more frequent with us, is like we actually have an opportunity to see them live. They're touring in September. I think they're touring now, but in September they're going out with Sparta. Like that's huge. It's from September 12th to the 27th, and they're hitting Portland, Maine, so we will be there. And then I don't know if it's happened yet, but they are going out with. They're on some of the Quicksand dates too.
Oh, sick! Nice.
Is it the Quicksand Bane thing that they're on?
Yeah, I think it is, and yeah, it's we talk about that in the interview as well. There's the conversation as well here coming, but it's pretty. All things coming up. Public opinion. The curse of public opinion might be broken.
Oh, I think that's the mic drop. Let's get into this.
Let's go.
Kevin Hart, public opinion, side one dummy. If you're listening, Kevin, we'll see you in September. See ya. All right, we're here with Kevin from Public Opinion. Kevin, thanks for hanging, man.
Hey, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited it's not 85 and humid here. Like I hear we're experiencing on the other side of the cameras tonight.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm in my basement, and it's got to be 80 degrees.
Oh my God, in there?
People from Florida are like, oh man, you're soft. But for us, this is hot.
Well, we can't open windows. Like I would open that window, but the sound of the road outside would just be super loud, and I'd have to edit it all out, and I don't want to do that. So the window's closed. It'll be hot in here. I'll just deal with it.
And we're just getting right into it. We played Jacksonville a month and a half ago, and I did not know the deal with that at all.
Oh yeah.
And we went from stage. I was like, "This is why Cannibal Corpse sounds that way, is because everything is hot and wet here." And the dude who was really nice and like got broy with me came up and he was like, "It's nice out. We rode our bikes to the show." I was like, "It is 89 degrees. What the fuck are you doing riding a bicycle right now?"
Right, to a show.
See, my beef with that heat is you have to take like 3 showers a day, like minimum. And it's just, that's a big commitment, right?
I wasn't dry for 36 hours.
You can't be. There's no way to get dry. Yeah.
No, you shower and you towel off and then you're still wet. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why we live in the Northeast, because I couldn't handle that. My wife and I talk about it sometimes. She's like, we could move to a warmer climate. I'm like, we could, and then we just spend the summer inside versus spending the winter inside. So whatever one you want to do.
Dude, my wife and I spent a lot of money to move to Denver from Seattle for that exact reason. It's like we gotta have some sunshine in our life ever, but without humidity at the same time.
Yeah, and we get that too. And I mean, it's like that here for like a month in September. We get that, and that's why people buy vacation homes up here, and nobody can afford a real house. But it is what it
is. Yeah, been there.
So Kevin, this morning it hit me that my kids might be the youngest Public Opinion fans.
Oh, dude.
I'm spinning I'll give you some context. I'm not gonna leave it at that. I'm spinning the record. I'm dropping them off at school and daycare, and when Kevin Gets Free comes on, and there's the claw machine line, and guess what? 4 and 6 year olds fucking love claw machines. So they heard that and they go, "Daddy, that's claw machine." I'm like, "Holy shit, you're right. You heard it before I did."
Dude, they're having the very Toy Story experience. The claw. Man, I'm loving that.
Are they the target demo?
Dude, it was an active thing when we were tracking demos of it, where I was like, I wonder if the claw machine, I thought my age, somebody was going to be like, "Are you doing a Toy Story thing?" And it's like, no, it's just claw machines exist. But having a kid recognize it and be like, "Yo, that's sick. Let's play the claw machine song." That makes me so happy.
That's pretty cool, right? Yeah.
You know what? Whatever piques the interest. You know, whatever. If you like a little single line in a song about a claw machine, I think that's a win. How old did you say it was?
It was my son that picked it out. He's 4.
Oh, dude, I might have to text my wife during this. Like, I have a story for you.
It's not Toy Story. It is a separate story.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely.
Anthony's bearing the lead here. He is a claw machine savant. Yeah. We were down at Hampton Beach about a week ago, as of this recording, to see Newfound Glory and Yellow Card. And there's an arcade right next to the venue, and we were in there. And you must have hit like 4 of them and pulled stuff out of all of them.
I gotta come clean. I watch YouTube videos, like YouTube pointer videos. I'm not shitting you.
I believe it,
dude. Okay, you're like one of those pinball guys, except it's just claw machines. That's so cool.
I'm the dude from King of Kong. I forget his name. Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell.
When we played some shows with Liquid Mike last year, and they just all got together and like, "Oh yeah, we like pinball machines." And I was like, "Oh, is this one a good one?" And then they were just like, Well, in the '90s, they changed this unit inside all of these. And now they're all and I was like, okay, we're done. I was ready for a yes or no. I like that it's South Park. Now we're talking about what makes it sick, and I was like, okay, I'm a novice here, and we're talking like I'm not, dude. But claw machines, dude, I don't think I could win on a claw machine if you gave me 7 weeks. Like, I'm so awful.
Nice.
Probably not.
I just want to hit Kenny in the head. I don't need to get him. As long as I hit him, I feel like I won.
Exactly.
Yeah, I actually don't want the prize. It's the rush. It's the experience, right?
You stick it back in. You just leave it in for the next kid.
Yep. Yeah, but you did. You walked away. You fleeced that place. You walked away with a bunch of shit, and you gave it to the kids, I'm sure, because it wasn't anything that you wanted. But
They loved it.
You're a savant.
And they love public opinion. So I want to share that with you because I don't have my kids listen to everything. Like, there's a line, and this fits in that wheelhouse. Yeah.
Yeah. When you have Jamie Josta on, I don't think we need to play. I will be heard for the kiddos as we're dropping them off at the.
Not
That
yet.
is funny. That's true. I've gotten to the age where now my friend group kind of has kiddos, either fresh babies or they're becoming toddlers, and just hearing little things like that, be like, oh, it went from God, what's the Netflix ninja thing that every kid on the planet got really into for about a year?
Oh yes, K-pop Demon Hunters thing.
Yes, you knew exactly what I'm talking about. It went from that to like, oh, I was playing your song in the car, and like, my nephew, for lack of a better term, was singing in the back, and he knows your songs because I play it in the car sometimes. And it's just like, oh, it is cool how important music is when your brain is just a sponge and just vacuuming up everything.
The good news is there is a volume knob in my car. So when I was listening to 100 Demons yesterday, I had to turn it down a little bit. And that's for me, Get the front speakers going. Yeah.
Do that fade all the way to the front, no rear. Yeah. Been there too. Which the new 100 Demons or an older record?
The new one.
New one. Pretty good.
It's great. No complaints here. I'm in.
We are less than 9 minutes into this, and we've talked about K-pop Demon Hunters and 100 Demons already.
And claw machines all day.
And claw machines. This is the best. This is the best episode ever. I'm having a great time.
You just described my day to day, actually.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Peaks and valleys, which is which, open to interpretation here.
That's what we do here at Patio Slave. Like, we like to talk about just about everything music-wise under the sun. And we got the email about you guys, and I checked you out briefly when I saw you signed to Side One, and I was like, all right, I like this. I think I saved a song. And it was one of those, like, got to remember to come back to this, pitch it to Anthony, let's see if we can have him on. And then we got an email. I was like, well, perfect. The work was done for me. This is awesome. So we appreciate that, obviously. But we're stoked to talk to you about the new record and talk to you about, all that's going on in the public opinion universe. But give us a little backstory. You guys are Denver based, right?
We are now, yes. I recorded the public opinion demo myself, but that was in Seattle before I moved to Denver. But this was 2020. So we're not really a band. We're not really playing shows. Shows aren't happening. So it's just me kind of doing a project. And this is before I move. I move in May of 21 to here. There was a lineup for the Pacific Northwest group. A couple of them are still in the band from time to time. Sebastian, who plays bass in the band now, as well as then, has been pretty consistent the whole way through. But moved to Denver, and then actually the world opened up, so I got to actually start playing shows. We had our first tour got canceled because of COVID. We had weekends of shows. We have all sorts of stuff. Our first show got canceled, which was this big fest that we were supposed to play, that our record label, Convulse Records at the time, put on this big event, and it was like Gel and Scowl and Military Gun and Spine and all these bands were playing, and then I got COVID the week before, so we weren't able to play our first show. Just things like that. It was a constant, which is where the title of the new record, Curse of Public Opinion, comes in, where it's just like little shit like this just happens. That's me trying to pursue music as an outlet. Is never easy, always something going on. But then, January 2nd of 22, we played our first show finally. And then it's been an awful lot of gas and not a lot of breaks since. Some of us are stretched out across a bunch of states, and I play with different lineups every time that I play a string of shows, it seems like. But it is a circus, but it's my circus. So I really do enjoy it, though.
So Denver, I've been to Denver. I was there about 15 years ago for a bachelor party. We had a Rockies game. We hit like arcade bar called One Up. I don't know if it's still there.
One Up announced they were closing yesterday.
No
Oh, man.
way. We talk about claw
that-
machines, One Up. This is money. Are
You
serious?
are a savant.
I know.
God, yeah. They announced yesterday, and then One Up was a place that Miranda, my wife, and I, first time that we visited Denver as part of moving here, we were like, we got to go to the barcade, World
Hell
Famous, or whatever. And so we went like train into town, place to drop off our stuff, and then to the barcade. So it is funny that we both had a very similar. You got to go get your claw machine on if you're visiting Denver.
Hell yeah.
How was the Rockies game? The Rockies were bad then still. Is that right?
I think that was the Troy Tulowitzki era. I think tickets were cheap.
Sounds right. Yeah.
$4.50 to
I
get
think they
in.
were,
Probably.
and the seats were money. Like I remember, it was like, I think like 12 of us got tickets day of, and it was like, wait, that's a thing? You can actually do that?
Dude, it's insane. I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm a wife guy, so I'm gonna keep talking about it. Obviously we're not from here, so our wedding was in town in Denver, and so a bunch of our family like flew in, or not our family, her family, not my family. A bunch of people flew in, and so we tried to make a weekend out of it. So we all went to the Rockies game the next night, and we got like a block of seats and did the whole thing. And the Rockies had their worst loss in the history of the team.
That's the curse of public
curse of
opinion.
public
That's
baby.
the curse of public opinion. 21-3 to the San Diego Padres. That's an NFL score.
Are you telling us that the podcast is now cursed by public opinion? Because that's not good for us, Anthony.
No, dude, I don't think so. I think if you have to like decrypt this after we're done, that's the case. But like, I don't think it's gonna go. It's not gonna feed into the rest of you.
I hope not. I
But-
hope not.
Well, the reason I bring that up is like, when I think Denver, I don't think music. Like,
Mhm.
I think Fear Before was from Denver. Planes Mistaken for Stars kind of
Yes.
claims Denver. And then I looked it up. The Descendants, like, do you guys claim Descendants, or isn't there some
Bill Stevenson does Blasting Room, which is in Fort Collins, which is about an hour north.
that's what it is. Okay.
That's
So
gotta
there's
be
some
one.
like
Yeah.
adjacency, but is there a scene?
Yeah, it is not what I do, but there is a scene certainly. So I believe Mumford and Sons started here, which is like the big one. 303 is from here, and then do you guys remember I Can Ride My Bike with No Handlebars? Do you remember that fucking song?
Flowbots. Yeah.
Flowbots are also a Denver band. Now it is we have really aggressive music that it like does pretty well. So like Blood Incantation is a gigantic band from here. Primitive Man's also from here. And then for stuff more similar to the thing that I do, Convulse Records is based here. So like Destiny Bond is a band that's from here. That's
Oh, shit.
Doing
I
big
didn't realize
things there
that
about
Convulse
to-
was there.
yeah, they're about to do that Fiddlehead tour, and they're a good band. And then a smaller like DIY hardcore stuff does really really well here. There's a record label. If you guys are familiar with Youth Attack Records, which is Mark McCoy from Charles Bronson. It's what he did after Charles Bronson quit being a manager, started putting out records. And the two home bases are kind of Brooklyn, where they're his bands, and then there's a guy here named James that is in a trillion bands that are all in Youth Attack. That's kind of has his own scene. DIY does super well here for the most part. Aggressive music mostly, a lot of hardcore, a lot of metal, a lot of punk. Once you get softer than that, it kind of gets a little shaky, fortunately for me. But Denver has that was a big, it wasn't a big part, but it was in the calculus of me moving here. It's like, oh, shows are sick here. I could go see bands that I like, and I could start bands and play shows that are good in Denver, as opposed to Seattle at the time was not what Seattle even is now. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
I love how I'm like, prove your scene to me, and I'm from Maine. It's like,
We have
who
a
the
decent,
fuck am
we have a
I?
decent DIY
No,
scene
we do.
too.
We do. We really
the
do.
music scene's
Yeah.
better here than people realize, but yeah, it's small. I mean, Denver's much bigger than we are, so we just didn't know, aren't super familiar with the music scene there, so had to hear it from the horse's mouth a little bit, you know.
Absolutely, but also like, why would you, right? Like, no one's like championing Denver in a way that we champion Chicago, LA, Boston, New York, right? Where like, being from Maine, the only two bands I can think of from Maine off the top of my head is Outbreak and Cruel Hand. There other ones that are like obvious ones that I'm missing, or is that
In that scene, those are the big ones, right?
In that world, those are the big ones. Wake Up Call made a splash back in the day.
Of course. That means Ryan Thinkfast is probably from Maine then, right?
I think he split time.
Outbreak, that would make sense. Okay.
Yeah. And there's some other bands. But as far as like this scene, but now like it's popping. I don't think there's like a king now, but
Mhm.
probably Cruel Hand. But
Cruel Hand's always king. Cruel Hand's we listened on this last tour that we did. I think I spun 3 different Cruel Hand records, and I was just like, oh yeah, this is still an incredible band that I never see anymore. I don't know why, if they're not touring or if I'm just missing it when they are, but
Well, Chris
incredibly good band.
He's out with
Chris is
Terror
very
all
busy.
the time. Yeah.
Still busy, preoccupied. But then I'll just see him on wild flyers that I'm like, oh,
Yep.
Cruel Hand is playing Florida this weekend. All right, cool.
That's right.
I bet that's gonna be sick.
So you've got the scene. You said your first show was canceled, but then you jumped in 2022. How did that do? First show memories?
Yes. So COVID hits me, because COVID hit the world, but it hit me. So we lose the big fest that we were going to play that I was really excited about. I have a West Coast tour in February that is canceled for everything for COVID. I book a weekend around New Year's because I from the jump I wanted the band to be active. I wanted it to be like we've all played in local bands for a long time. Let's try to be a band that plays some shows. Let's try to be a band that like puts out a like vinyl, and then let's try to go sell a bunch of fucking vinyl so that way we're not like our friend didn't do a nice thing and now there's 300 of them sitting in his house. Real nice move for me to do, right?
Yeah.
So I book a weekend of shows. This is going to be Laramie, Wyoming, Kansas City on Laramie, Wyoming, New Year's Eve. Kansas City is going to be New Year's Day, and then we're going to play this bar in Denver called High Dive. As we are driving to Laramie for our first show, a blizzard hits. So I'm going 3 miles an hour on the highway, and I eventually have to be like, hey, guys, when are we going to call this? Because we're not making it.
Yeah, right.
And so that gets called. As we're letting them know we're not going to make it up, I find out the bartender of the venue in Kansas City has tested positive for COVID, so their venue is closed. And the venue in town that was supposed to host my show on the Sunday is also closed for COVID, which sucks, except Antonio, who was playing guitar at the time, has flown out to play the weekend of shows. So he's here for New Year's regardless. And so it's just like, hey, so can we try to put something together? And thankfully, Adam from Convulse, he's also in the band Destiny Bond, throws together a matinee thing at the DIY spot, Seventh Circle, which is one of the kind of 3 popular ones that we have going on right now. It's just in a garage of us, Destiny Bond, and then our friend Kelly's band, Back of a Car, and just puts this thing together in like what feels like 35 minutes. And then 30 people show up and come and see us and watch us, and everybody has a really good time. And that show was fun enough that it was like, okay, like this logistically sucked, obviously. This is something that we need to be mindful of. Like winter's here, we need to be mindful of this COVID thing that's apparently still kicking around. But I think the band might be good. We should probably try really hard. And then I think we can probably do this as a thing. So that was the first thing where it was like a sea of failure surrounding like a real bright shining spot in the middle where like older dudes just rolled up to the show and were like, oh, you sound like Murder City Devils. And I was like, that's kind of true, I guess. Thank you.
Haven't heard that name in like 2 decades.
Yeah. So like, oh, you know, this was meant to be a compliment. I'm going to take it as a compliment. And then like 3 years later, we played with Wilhelm Scream. And that dude came up and he was like, "Oh, is that your first show? I haven't seen you guys since. You guys been playing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're playing a fucking lot, man. We should get you some of this internet. You're going to be able to find me on there a lot."
Yeah.
But it is a thing where like I still see people that because most of that, there's 30 people there. So I know 17 of them on a first name basis. But then like the other people that are there still like will pop up when we play with like Alkaline Trio or we play like these bigger shows. I'm like, "Oh, is that your first show?" And I was like, "You were. How's it going? Murder City Devil Skinhead guy. How are you? Nice to see you."
That's awesome.
I can't help but when I think Murder City Devils, I think Lost City Angels. I think like, I don't know, like interchangeably. But I was just looking up on Google Maps. Wyoming to Kansas City is a long fucking drive, man. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
Is a long fucking drive. So, but I grew up in Olympia, Washington. And so all of the bands that I grew up going to see shows, this is for the people at home. If you live in the Northwest and bands come to see you, understand that their shows are less attended up there, and it was a pain in the ass to get there. So
they'll never come back. They'll never come back.
That's why full U.S. tours don't go up there, because it's fucking expensive and it's a pain, and the shows aren't that good usually. But like, it's like, so whenever I was going on tour, it was Seattle, Portland, San Francisco. There ain't nothing between. Like you could play Reading, you could play Reno, in Reno, you're going out of the way a ways. You try to get Sacramento. You could try for Eugene, Oregon. Probably not. So I just had it baked in like, oh, tour just starts with half of a day in the car. And so when I moved here, Kansas City is the first or last day of almost every tour that we do. It's just the closest thing. You could play Albuquerque, which is technically closer. Salt Lake is a push. You have nothing to the north. But once you get to Kansas City, everything for the rest of your tour is 4 hours away, which is a godsend. However, this is the thing where I was trying really hard. I was just like, we're going to just play some shows. I don't care. I'll drive. I'll drive the whole time. I still drive the whole time. For me to start tour, I just have to drive a third of the day across the continent.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately. Yeah, the reality of being a Denver-based band is that like starting and ending tour is a disaster. I have driven home from Milwaukee. I've driven home from Minneapolis, from Indiana, Illinois, St. Louis. It's just everything is so far away. But I'm not in LA and I'm not in New York, so I'm gonna have to drive the car a little bit.
Yeah, because you're right. It's all. I mean, it's mountain range, right? So there's people that want to be there, but it's not as populous as it is as you get to like in the middle of the country and east or over the Rockies and west. So it's crazy.
Oh yeah, I live in no man's land. I live in what amounts to a high desert. And so we're clear, I love it. I'm a Denver defender. Patrick and I from Drug Church got in a fight about this. It is incredible, except for the 9 hours I have to spend in a car to start every tour. Besides that, can't get enough of it.
Well, and to probably finish, right? I mean, I would think yeah.
If you burn the drive to Kansas City at the beginning, that means you're driving home from Minneapolis. It sucks.
It's funny, like we get it because we're older and we've just been going to shows forever. But like I don't think the casual music fan really gets that. It's like, motherfucker, you live in Seattle. Like, it is a bitch to get up there. Either move or stop complaining.
Yeah, this was an ugly reality that like I had like becoming friendlier with people. It was just like, hey, so like what's up? Like playing Seattle and Portland is cool, and everyone's like, it's fine. The problem is that we're about to go play San Francisco and Los Angeles, and those are going to be double the amount of people. Both definitely, and it's like, fuck. Yeah. This is why every full U.S. tour for what felt like a long time to me as a kid, because I never got to see as many bands I wanted to would do Denver, Salt Lake, Reno, Bay, or Denver, Salt Lake, Day off Bay area instead of coming up, and it's always just like, dude, it's right there. You could just, and now that I do it, I'm like,
it's not right there. Yeah.
It's super not. It could not be less right there. It's crazy.
I think, Anthony, you were just talking to me. Either move or shut the hell up. Because I say this about Portland, Maine a lot.
Is that true?
Well, not a lot comes through Portland, Maine. You guys are in September, but not a lot of bands come through Portland, Maine. We're only 100 miles from Boston. It's not like it's that far. So, and we have, people that care about music up here. So I'm always like, oh man, the shows are coming, but it's going to Worcester. It's going to Boston. It's not coming to us. Sometimes it'll make it to New Hampshire, but it's not coming all the way to us. Fortunately, I only live like 45 minutes from the Hampton area, which is where some stuff comes through. But I'm always very angry about it. And then Turnstile announces they're playing Portland, and I'm like, if Turnstile's coming to Portland, why can't anybody else? Like, what the fuck's going on here? They're massive. Like, what are we doing?
That is a fair point. I wonder if there has to be. Are you from Portland originally? Did you grow up there?
Born in Portland, grew up the town just south of it, just across the bridge. I could see Portland from my house.
Were you just going to shows in Boston as a kid?
Portland, we would get a decent amount back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then there was a little lull in the middle 2000s when the theater shut down for safety concerns for about, 4 years, Anthony? And once that opened back up, it got busy again. But we had a stretch there where we used to get a lot of rock stuff. We had a good rock radio station, and stuff just kind of stopped coming after that. So
that's bizarre. Yeah, I would have never realized how close those two cities are. I don't think. I assumed Portland, you were in Nova Scotia.
That's what most people think. Yeah, we're Canadian. Yep.
We're Canadian.
I mean, I'm also a redneck from the sticks, so like maybe like my understanding of the Northeast corridor is like, are you on 95?
Oh yeah, right on it. No, I can hear it. It's right over there.
That's why we have to keep the windows closed, just because of I-95.
Exactly. It's literally right. It's probably 2 miles from where I'm sitting.
So Kevin, you play these gigs and you liked it enough to keep at it. Like, you got something here. How many bands does that just straight up not happen for? Like, a lot of bands are like, fuck this. No one gives a shit.
Oh my, almost all, 99.9%. Yeah, I think that I understood pretty quickly within the first 6 months of the band that like I still to this day have a job where I make no money and I have no real career ambition. So there's a world my boss is going to hear this. I apologize. Where I've had these terrible jobs where I make no money, and it's like I'm going to make $33,000 this year in a metro area, but I am going to go on every tour and I'm going to play every show, and that's going to be lit and it's going to be a good time. It's going to be really fulfilling and it's going to be really satisfying. I knew that pretty early on, even with like crap ass show that I booked DIY, like wherever. It's still like, yes, no one is at the show, but I never thought I would be in. I'm not going to say a town name here because I don't want anybody to be upset because they think I'm talking about their crap ass town, quote unquote. But like, I never thought I would make it to this state. Why would I ever be in this state on the other side of the Mississippi? I'm from Washington State. Why would I ever?
You can say it, Kevin, Maine. You never thought you'd get to Maine.
Okay.
Dude, even if there is no one at that show in plugging it in, you know, at the end of September, please consider attending if you're listening from Portland, Maine. Even if there's no one there, I am going to be like, it is lit that I'm in Portland, Maine right now.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
It'll be good. Yeah, decent time of year. I actually think it will be well attended, and the venue is awesome. It's what, 300 cap?
300 cap. Sounds great.
Yeah, sounds money. Good stage. It's right in downtown Portland. Like, what's not to like?
That sounds amazing. If I pull up and I sound check and hey Kev, sorry, there's 0 tickets sold, which won't happen. I understand that. I'm not trying to like denigrate the potential of like a flop here, but that it will still be like, wow, guys, we grew up 3,000 miles from here, and now we're here to play rock music. That is pretty exciting. That happened like the first time that we played New York City, it was fine. There's 35 people that watched us play or something, but it was like, oh, we made it. We are playing in New York right now. This is something I never thought that we'd ever get to do when I was a kid, and now we're like actively getting to do it. Buried in that though is when the band started, is when shows were opening up, so everything was good. Everything was hot.
That's right. The COVID padded everything. Even with like podcast numbers, it padded everything.
Everybody wanted something. I thought I had it. I thought that we were done. I was going to the moon. Our first show is in January. First 12 inches coming out on Convulse in May. I book a Midwest tour in May that is a smashing success because people just want to do something. So all the shows are like, in reality, moderately attended. I have no perspective because I've never been in any of these places. So 35 people in St. Louis is like, holy shit, this is awesome. In June, we do the West Coast. This band Bad Spring from California. It's a great band. It's kind of some of the Creation Records music. Really, really less awesome tour, but still like a cool tour. And then we get asked to do September, we're doing the Northwest with Gum. In October, Gel takes us on a trip through the Midwest. And then the end of October going into November, we do like 2.5 weeks with Military Gun and MS Paint across the entire country. And in my brain, there's no way to explain how I was like, we're going to Matador Records. We're done.
You're going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Step aside, Steven Tyler. It's my time to shine, baby. I was so sure it was done, and we were it's going to be us and like 4 Year Strong co-headlining next year. And I could not have been more wrong. But I was like, damn, we boys, this 0 time we spent grinding is all worth it. We finally got, and then 4 years later, we're in the exact same position we were in. And
it's tough, man.
Actually, the bubble, I just really thought all the shows were good. Everything was awesome. I was having an amazing time, and I still have an amazing time, but I was just like, the illusion, or the delusion rather, was
I'm with you. And
Incredible.
in all of that, like there were all the firsts, and like I've found with anything creative, you end up kind of not intentionally, but chasing your first, like that first feeling. I want to recreate that, right? And even though I forget who it was, I think it was Sonia from Weekend Friends. She's like, every room that we go to, like we enjoy it, but then there's like another challenge with the next room. You know what I mean? Every level creates these new challenges, and that kind of.
Chris Ballou from President said the same thing. They both said it. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, the guy that wrote Peaches, and
he's like, we
Lump.
get into these rooms, and then it's like, well, there's another room back there, and you're not allowed in there yet.
Yeah. All
you
the
go through that
gates
door, and there's another one back there. You're not allowed in there yet. It's always like you always feel that way.
It's always this chase, but dude, you can't replicate. You'll probably never replicate that, like that initial run. Like it just is what it is.
We talk about it all the time. Is like I'm actively trying to get better about this, but I grew up pretty into like the sports radio thing, and as a result, like these are the top 5 quarterbacks of all time, or whatever bullshit, right? And so as a result, ranking stuff is just kind of baked into my brain. I'm actively trying to work on this, but there are times where we'll just like, hey, what are the best tours we've ever done? And it's like, oh, the Gel tour is incredible. The Drug Church one we just did was incredible. But that first tour, man, holy shit, there's 90 people in Indianapolis right now. Oh my God. We are
on a Tuesday, right?
We're AC/DC, man. We're going to the, and I think about this a lot too, where like, it's the thing when you first started going to shows as well. Like, this band toured pretty extensively. Did you guys see Gravemaker? Do you remember that band from the end of the 2000s?
They were on Think Fast, right?
I believe they put out a record on Think Fast tied all together. A couple of the folks, I think, were in Figure 4, which was a pretty big band. Maybe somebody from Comeback Kid was in. You get the idea of what I'm trying to say here, though. And in my brain, that's the biggest band in the world, because I saw them when I was 15 years old, and there was again like 90 kids at the show. I had no perspective, and I was just like, this band is Hatebreed.
Yep.
This band is Agnostic Front. This is the biggest band in the world. Holy shit! I can't believe that I get to witness this. And it's the newness of the thing, where you're just like, the first is like such a. I'm going to carry this concept with me for the next like week. I need you to know this. I'm going to talk to everybody about this and get their perspective on this. Where the firstness of a thing is so, there's no way to replicate it, right? Like we played with Alkaline Trio, like I mentioned last year, and like there's 1,000 people at the show, and it's very, very exciting, and like it's like kind of like a breathtaking thing at first because you're like, holy shit, and it's like I felt the same way in the Seventh Circle Garage at our first show. It's the only thing that's come close to that, and even then, it was probably more exciting at the first show because I just like, oh my God, oh okay, I guess we're doing it. Oh, this is really scary. The newness of the thing.
The newness. There's a charm to it all, and I think you kind of paint this world around it, which like. Half of it wasn't even the way you remember it, but it's just you put it on this huge pedestal that like I'm just gonna believe it in my head.
Yeah, and you know, I think that's kind of nice. I think a memory of a thing is way cooler than an accurate representation of the thing.
Yeah.
And now there's obviously historical context where that's not, please God, don't do that. But like as far as like a personal memory of like a creative endeavor, like yeah, I think it's really nice. I think you should run with that.
Well, and feeling really excited about 30 people showing up for you in St. Louis is a fucking awesome feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may get to a point where you're like, oh man, I wish it was 100. But in that moment, you're like, this is fucking rad. Like people showed up to see us tonight or see us and whoever we're with tonight. And I didn't think that could ever be possible. We first started this thing in March of 2020, so similar timing. And you know, the first couple of weeks, there's like 17 downloads, and it's our phones and our computers. And like, there's nobody listening to it. And then we started seeing numbers go up, and it's like people are seeing this. Holy shit! Never thought anybody would want to come and listen to this, you know, weekly or once even. So the fact that if you get that feeling, and that you're right, that feeling that and having it be something that you hang on to, even if it, you know, down the line you're like jaded by it, you know, jaded by the industry or whatever. In that moment, it was so pure and so awesome. You should hang on to that.
Yeah, dude. Not dissimilar. Like the Spotify for Artists thing will like show you how many people are actively listening, and like there was a time when like looking at it, it's like there are 3 people listening to the songs right now, guys, in the world. There's 3 of them. And it's not just me. My phone's off right now, or whatever. But it's not on my phone. I can show you it's not on my phone. It's not me. You're never gonna get to experience that again, and I think that's sort of sad in a way, but it is also like. A lot of people didn't get to experience that in the first place.
Exactly.
Color yourself charmed by it.
So did that firstness feeling continue when the first Convulse LP came out?
Yes, that the proper LP or the
Paint on Smile.
Paint on Smile, yeah. That took a billion years, it felt like, to come out. So that the shine was a little bit off the apple on that, unfortunately, where there was plant delays. And then we also press records in Canada. So then there's the border. And there was a thing, I don't remember the exact thing, but like our records were at the pressing plant the same time that, yeah, I can swear here, the same time that the band Fentanyl was having records being pressed at the same plant for Convulse. And so I think something happened where there's boxes that say fentanyl coming across the fucking United States Canadian border. That like something happened at some point, and like this story might not be correct, but my memory of it, which is like the border guard was like, "Hey man, I understand that this is not going to be that would be insane, but I do have to watch you open all these boxes." And Adam from Convulse had to just like open every single one of the boxes. Like, look, not fentanyl still.
Yeah, it is, but it isn't. It isn't at all.
Yeah.
That's
and
ridiculous.
So that record was it was very exciting to go and record the record. We recorded the record with Taylor Young, who's in Nails and Twitching Tongues and God's Hate and all these bands. Used to be in Nails, rather. He's actually in those other ones. And then Ian Shelton, who's one of my best friends since I was a kid, helped produce the record. And that was very exciting, but that was in like May of 23, and I don't think we got them until December of 24.
Wow.
And so it was like, oh, they are finally fucking here. All right.
Yeah, those are old songs at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, we got them in December and we recorded an EP in January. It's like, okay, well, all of my touring that I booked for these, and these didn't land in time, unfortunately, because of the delays and whatnot. But it was still like the moment that you get the box, you open it, you look through, and it's the physical. Like that was still very exciting, but it was very much so creatively, and then as like as a touring entity, it was very much like, okay, but you need to put up more songs now because these have been on the internet for 6 months.
Right.
We gotta keep going. But that's fucking.
Everybody needs new stuff. Everybody always wants new stuff. Yep.
All the time. As of recording this, we have 2 songs out. This is going to drop after this, of course, but as we're recording this, we have 2 songs from our new LP that are out as singles, and the record doesn't come out for another month and a half. And I'm 3 songs into the next one writing because I just have to be.
Yeah,
it's what this thing is. I wish I was a rapper all the time, so you could just do it in a weekend and then put it out on Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God! Instead of like, oh, can we book recording time? No, I'm gonna do it in my MacBook.
Well, I listened to it today. Axe to Grind every week, and they were talking recently. Well, Patrick was talking about, as a band, when you finish an album, you know, the label starts talking about the next release, and do you go a cover, do you go a single? And like, I can't help but think, like, when you guys started, that was never a conversation, right? Like, it was that like the industry stuff, right? Like,
no, not at all. Unfortunately, all my friends at this point, there's a song on the record about this where everybody that I talk to now works in the music industry except for like 2 people.
That's almost how we opened this episode, actually, but we did. Like Kevin paid us.
I pay everyone I still talk to. Yeah.
I pay everyone I still talk to. Exactly. Where it's like, I have 2 friendships that they don't care about the size of a room. They don't care about B markets. They don't care about streaming numbers and licensure. They don't give a fuck. I'm just like, how was T-ball today? It was sick. Send me a video of the T-ball today. And I really cherish those as a result, because everybody else in my life, even if it's my friends that I'm like playing Fortnite with, or that I'm talking to about Premier League soccer or whatever, it is still people that in the back of my mind, I'm like, you're thinking about your recording advance right now. Like, you have a recording advance coming up, and that you're going to have to recoup that eventually, and you don't know how you're going to do it. And I know that, and I know that you know that I know that. And so it's just buried in there that I have since started, like, I'm in like a fast, regular hardcore band, because I wanted to, the onset of it was like, I'm just going to a regular show. I want to play the garage on a Tuesday, and if when the first band starts, there's not a lot of people here, I don't want my heart rate to go up at all. I want to just be like, okay, there's 17 people tonight. That's what it is. Here comes 7 minutes of fast hardcore. And that is to remind myself of the thing that I started doing music for.
You got to do that. We've heard that a lot. Like, there's some nights where you're going to have to be reminded why you started, and you got to go back to that.
Yeah, like I know a lot of motherfuckers that will like be down in the dumps about a thing, and I have to go like, hey man, remember when I saw you in 2017 and there was 16 people there? Just perspective. Yeah. I'm sorry you didn't sell at the 1,000 cap tonight. Little perspective for you though, pal.
Totally.
Like, but I am prone to getting in that bag myself, and I kind of have a sort of dominant personality over whoever, depending on who's in the van at the time. If I'm like, man, I knew we shouldn't have fucking played Saskatchewan. I've never been to Saskatchewan. I'd love to play Saskatchewan. But man, I fucking knew. And then everybody will get down. And then I have to like go out of my body and recognize that I'm fucking the vibe up and go like, hey man, you got to fix that. And so you're like, it's crazy we're in Saskatchewan, man. We're playing a show. Like, I have to like actively fix it because I heard myself do it and then bum someone else out. And then they're just like, you know what? Fuck Canada. This place. I'm like, oh, hey, whoa, easy. Okay, that's wrong. That's the wrong energy. It's exciting that we're getting to do this. We are all of an age where we probably shouldn't be doing this anymore, and we still are doing it, and we're getting the opportunity to do so. That's,
it's amazing.
It's lit. Enjoy the fact that it's lit.
Because at some point you won't be able to do it, right? I mean, that's just the law of getting older and having different responsibilities. At some point you aren't going to be able to do it. Hopefully you can do it for a long time, but nobody does it forever. Barring some of the massive acts that are just raking in cash, but the majority of bands don't do it forever, so enjoy it while you can.
There is no way I'm going to get to do this forever. As a result, when I'm in Portland, I'm going to be messaging you guys like, what do I got to eat? Because I might never get to play here again. I need to eat something insane. Like,
we get ideas.
Enjoy the fucking thing,
Kevin
dude.
Hart's last night in town.
That's, welcome to our first and last time playing Portland, man, unfortunately.
Portland, you were amazing. We'll never see you again.
Yeah. See you again in 4 more years.
How does the Side One Dummy thing go down? Because, like, I feel like when you sign with Side One, you're further into it, right? You keep going. Next step is major label, Kevin.
So if we're keeping it a stack, that would be great news for me. I'm not working against the I pay everyone I still talk to thing. Like, I'm not working against that. That just becomes the reality of me being a band, me being a creative person and an artist that, like, makes records that then other people not pay for, so I have to like try really hard. So, Side One Dummy, are you guys into? I'm not spiritual. I'm not into the alien thing. I'm not into ghosts at all. This is the only thing that I'm into in general. I've talked at length about this on other, like, I have a stupid ass podcast and we talk about this a lot on there. Are you guys interested in manifestation at all?
So it's funny you ask, because our third host Nate, who's not here tonight, but he would be the most into it. I certainly think there's
you two, absolutely not.
Well, no, I certainly think
Nate,
that
there's a guy that's going to talk about it tonight, and
it would have been Nate, yeah. But putting stuff out into the world and trying to see if it'll come back to you, I don't think necessarily is a bad thing. I think it's a thing that happens. So thinking you're going to do it, visualizing you're going to do it, I don't think there's a place for that, because if you're not doing that, it's not going to happen.
Said much more eloquently than I would have said it. I would have.
Do you have a podcast?
I would have sworn a bunch, and it would have been terrible. Where Convulse is our friends, and I owe kind of the band to Adam from Convulse in a pretty sincere way, and I can't thank him and put him over enough. Really, he's the reason that the band is still a band today. But it did come to a thing where, like, early on in Convulse, people wouldn't listen to our band; they would just know we were on Convulse. So then we'd get to the show, and a band would sound like Infest, and a band would sound like Discharge, and then we'd play our garage rock music.
This isn't power violence.
A promoter in North Carolina came up to us after our set and said, thought it was going to be more power violence with the Convulse thing. And I was like, well, we're not. Sorry. But, like, we were an odd duck there in a way that they're pretty eclectic, but for the most part, they're associated with, like, chain link fence, barbed wire, fucking hardcore, right? Like, Doc Martin hardcore. And so it was not square peg, round hole, but it was square peg and vaguely roundish, squarish hole. And so we were interested in finding a place where maybe the baked in audience is going to be more interested in the thing that I'm doing. A couple names came up. Side One was one of the main ones that I was like, I think that would actually be cool. let's not talk about the other ones, but like side one might be like a cool thing to do. And I just started doing this weird thing where I would just like, oh, 59 Sound came out on Side One Dummy. I'm going to listen to that when I'm driving around Uber Eats. The Title Fight records that came out, the Super Heaven record that came out. I think there's a Live 7 Seconds record or something like that. That I would just like actively like, I'm going to listen to this and just like try to like put this out into the world. And then 3 weeks of me doing that, like a psycho, Phil, who's the GM of the label, followed us on Instagram or something. And I was like, holy shit.
It's happening.
And it's happening. And so I just like DM'd him. I was like, hey man, so this is around the time that Painted on Smile physical has arrived. This is around then that winter where I don't know what the band's going to be anymore. We've played a lot of shows and I'm not seeing really, it's not doing much. We're not getting asked to go on tour with 4 years strong like I thought we were years before as a joke. We're not, it's not going the way that I think it's going to be going. I'm in a lost phase. And then he follows us on Instagram and I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. I should, hey man, so this is weird. What's up? Like, is this, we're going to record some songs soon. Is that something you'd let me send to you? And he was like, yeah, here's my email, please. And then we go and we record some songs in our friend's studio in Colorado Springs, which is about an hour south of where I am right now. Get the mixes back and send it to him. And he's like, yeah, I think we can probably make something happen here. And then that's just kind of how it worked. And so do I think listening to Ours is Chrome by Super Heaven while delivering Taco Bell to people for no money is the reason it happened? Not necessarily, but it
might have happened.
More. It might have happened. It's doing more than doing
nothing.
It's
not the reason, right?
Yeah. Okay, dude. So what's crazy is that happened. And then I'm like, dude, manifestation might work. And I have a really good friend named James who is actually going to play guitar on the Sparta shows that I'm going to be in your neck of the woods at, where he's like, that's bullshit, shut up. Like you. And so I told him, I was just like, hey man, it's fine that you don't believe in it. I'm going to put a crazy one out there, Alkaline Trio. I'm going to manifest Alkaline Trio. And then 3 weeks later, I'm like listening to God Damn It all the time and From Here to Infirmary all the time. They announced they're playing Boulder, which is like 45 miles from here with no local support. And I'm just like, oh, I wonder, the public convenience manager is this hardcore dude from Long Island named Mike Dubin. And so I texted him, I was like, hey, dude, like, do you think they have, these are just off dates from that Blink-182 tour. Do you think there's tour support on this? He's like, oh, let me find out. And so he hit their booking agent, who he's known for 25 years, and then he hit Skiba. And Skiba was like, oh, we probably need locals on that. This band is cool, sure.
So it's happening.
And so I was just like texting him, I was like, hey, man, remember when I said the thing about Trio? And then I just sent him the email offer. And he was like, all right, man, whatever. I have one more. When is this? This is going to be released in a little bit, right?
Yeah, we probably won't put this out until late July, early August. So
yeah.
Okay, so it'll be announced by then. Where I put out to the world that I wanted to do Quicksand. I was very excited. Shit. I want to meet Walter. I want to do all this stuff. And our record release is the 2 local dates of Quicksand, Bane, Soulblind. That I was just like, that we were told, no, there's no locals on this. But then Walter likes the band a lot and was like, I'm in fucking Quicksand. Let me take care of it. And then now we're on the 2 shows, and I was just like, manifestation works.
All right, I'm gonna manifest Walter coming on this podcast.
Remember when you asked us like 5 minutes ago if we were into it? The answer is yes. Like I've been all in on manifestation my whole life.
I'm doing it. Walter, hey, I've been listening to the Quicksand record. Like, let's go, man. Like, come join us.
I do think the power doesn't work in the presence of non-believers. So, like, unfortunately, it's just part of it. Like, if you got a doubting Thomas, it's not going to work. But I just goofy things like that. So that's in a really, really long, stupid ass roundabout way. That's how we ended up with Side One Dummy.
It's not stupid. It works. We've just proven that it works.
And I do think it's a good home. I think, like, sonically, aesthetically, I think it's a good home. I think it's a great home. In fact, I was looking at the discography, and actually, I looked it up recently, and I was like, oh shit, that's on there, that's on there, that's on there. Like, it rolls real deep. And I remember getting Side One Dummy samplers back in the day and just being real into it.
I think I might have the CD around here, like the 2003 or 2004, like Vans Warped Tour comp that they would.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
They would have everywhere. And it was like, oh, this is just $5 at Zoomies or whatever. Go for it. And like, It's got 23 songs on the Casualties, and you're like, what the hell is this? You're a kid, you don't know any better. Yeah, I could not be more psyched that it worked out. I thought the band was done, and then Phil is the nicest guy ever, and he's a super positive guy, and it's just like breathed like life back into the thing, and now we're going on tour playing all these shows, and it's very, very awesome. My new record comes out soon, so it's
Let's talk about it. Let's talk
Curse of
about it.
Public Opinion, right?
Curse Public Opinion.
That's the name of the record. It's not just a real thing in in the world that we've been talking about here. It's the name of the record. It drops on August 7th on Side One Dummy, and we've heard it a bunch of times, and really stoked for other people to hear it because it's awesome.
Thank you, dude. It is a thing, like we talked about, like when the band started a couple years ago, and I think for the most part when bands start, it'll be I want to do a band that sounds like Agnostic Front, and then their demo, guess what, it's going to sound like Agnostic Front, and then maybe after the 7-inch and then the first LP, they might become their own thing. I think that we have gotten there where we're no longer playing, we're not doing Stiff Little Fingers covers, we're not doing Hives covers, we're not doing anything like that, even more contemporary stuff. Like, it's just like, oh, this is now what Public Opinion sounds like, and I can't wait for everybody to actually like hear what I've heard the whole time. There's times that maybe we've made records, and I think that the initial idea from me going through all the hands and then landing where it lands isn't exactly a representation of what the band is, or delays and things. Like maybe it lands where the band was a year and a half ago when we made it, but it isn't what the band sounds like now. Whereas the really swift turnaround from like recording in January to it comes out in August, as well as the band now being better as a band, me being better at writing songs, it is like, oh, this is Public Opinion. If people aren't going to be into this one, I suspect they're not going to be into the band at all going forward. But it is different than it has been up to this point, and it's progress, not change. It's not like we're not now doing Typo Negative. We are just now doing like what the band actually should have sounded like the whole time. Successful.
I would think that like translation from like what's in your head to the output that the listeners hear is in trying to land and trying to connect that would be fucking impossible.
I'm gonna let you know it's fucking impossible.
Yeah.
Musically, the way that the band works is that I will write everything of the initial pass of the song, so guitar, bass, vocals, drums is all me recorded on my iPhone poorly, and then from there it'll go into Kevin's hands. Kevin and Brent are both much better guitarists than me. Sebastian's a better bassist than me. And then depending on which drummer's on the record, I actually play drums on this record myself, but historically it's been other people. And they're influenced the way their drum styles or what the producer likes sonically. Sometimes I don't have the technical lexicon for things, where I'll just like, oh, we should use they start talking about guitar pedals and gear, and I just hear the adults from Peanuts. I can't. Oh, dude, we should use the Ampeg F970. That's you. This guy's fucking got it. And then, but making the record with Brett Roms, who we did the record with, we were able to try things, and I was able to be like, "Yo, that sucks. Absolutely not." And then, okay, we're gonna try something else because like we have options. We have time to like collaborate and make a record together. Where historically it has kind of been like, here's the demos, we're going to take the demos and then we're going to record the demos really nicely, and that's what the record is. Whereas this was like, we're trying stuff, some of it's going to be a really bad idea, we're going to throw that away, however some of it's going to land and it's going to make the band better, and it's going to make the band sound more like the band.
Was that more fun this time, doing it that way?
Everybody had a better time. It was more of a work environment, but I think in a positive way, because we flew out to New Jersey and then we just stayed for 2 weeks, and then we'd go be in the studio for 12 hours. And historically when I've made records, it'll be like, we're going to record drums for 2 days and then the drums and the records are done, and then we're going to play bass for 2 days and then we're going to play guitar for 4 days. This, we did everything song one, go, we're going to record the drums and then we're going to play some guitar, then we're going to play some bass, and then we're going to layer it, and then we're going to sing on it, and then we're going to go and we're going to layer it again, and we're going to move things around, and we're going to have the opportunity to play the songs with myself playing drums, Sebastian playing bass, and Kev playing guitar, and then making in-time adjustments at moments before we hit record. So that way we're able to actually try things instead of having to have it beyond skeletal going in, right? So that was a much better time, a much more. I think this is what people who make records and that like sell a lot of records. This is probably what these people do. Like it's like, oh, this feels like how records probably should be made. Like I feel like Lindsey Buckingham makes records this way. Right? It's like we're gonna do this song to completion, and then we will move on to the next song once this one's done, which was great. I hope I get to do it again a whole bunch more times. Honestly, it's the best time ever.
Any pressure? LP2. The
Oh
curse
my
of the
God.
curse of LP2.
Dude, the most pressure in the world. Is that what we're talking about? Let's talk. I would love to talk about pressure, dude. This is it. There is nothing that's going to happen after this that's going to make a new fan anywhere. If you don't get there on LP2, you got to start a new band. And I don't, so people that play music got to listen to this. I know, calm down. I don't actually mean that. But nothing's going to happen on LP3 that's going to make your band explode. Now, I can point to something like Drug Church and go, okay, well, their third LP was actually the breakout. That's not the point, and I don't need to hear that right now.
The comments are on fire right now.
Jimmy Eat World. I mean,
yeah, but they signed a major on Clarity.
But they were falling off of it.
But like, also Clarity's great. But they signed to a major, and then it didn't land, and then they recorded their own record, and then Capitol tried to re-sign them for more money, or whatever the story is, right? Like, there are examples that are the contrary. However, you're forgetting about the 99.9% of bands we talked about where no one gives a shit. If the second LP doesn't hit for public opinion, no one's going to pick up the third LP and be like, oh, wow, they're really doing something now. This is what the band is. If this doesn't work for the world, then the world doesn't care about the art that I created, which is fine. There's no expectation with that. However, high school Texas football, this is what we play for moment in the locker room before you go out and play the second half. That's LP2 for me. This is the whole thing. If this doesn't go, then the band doesn't go, and I go to work at the mill. And that's cool. Maybe that's where my life is, but that's the pressure, and it's not external at all. Everybody is like, pre-orders are this number, we're doing so good, dude. Ticket sales are this, that's great. Streams are great. Like everybody is positive outside of it, and then inside my brain is just like, oh man, what if the record sucks really bad and I'm delusional? What if the record is terrible and I have no concept of reality? Because that's what I do. I've heard this record 1,000 times now. No one else has heard it yet. And now I'm like, wait, what if I did like a really bad job?
Well, that's to be expected. I mean, I think especially most people and that we've talked to over the course of 200 plus band interviews and us ourselves just doing this week to week, you're your own biggest critic. If you give a shit about it, you want it to be perfect. You want it to sound good. You want people to get in, and as I like to say, get under the tent, right? Like you want those people in. So you're gonna put that pressure on yourself because you give a shit about the art you're making.
Yeah, I would like to think that I created something that will mean something to someone. It'll never mean as much to someone as it meant to me. Unfortunately, that's the way that it is. But I would like to think that I created something of a certain quality that other people are going to hear something and go, oh, either that's a relatable lyricism. Oh, he can write rock music that's catchy, whatever the thing may be. I'd like to imagine that I accomplished that, but I can also forecast that if no one cares about this record, I'm going to feel really bad and embarrassed about it, because I feel really bad and embarrassed about everything all the time. It's unfortunately, I think, part of what makes me and makes a lot of people who are creative people, that's like the feeling really weird and shy about it is the same reason that like I pursue this thing so like a feral dog. The same part of my brain, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
If I was in a band, I would be Kevin Hart. I would be Kevin Hart.
You would be.
No, totally. Like we've interviewed a lot of people and they're like, I don't check the comments. I don't care about this. And it's like, if I was in a band, I'd read every fucking comment. I would analyze it in my head 6 ways to Sunday. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine being the other way. And maybe you are the other way, but I can't imagine being the other way of just like not caring about that. I think it actually, I would think it puts you in a headspace to make better output. I would think.
I would like to imagine it's part and parcel, but like I of course I read the comments. Of course, everyone reads the comments until you learn to stop reading the comments. There's a Hate 5-6 video of us playing in Tulsa a couple years ago that a guy said that I look like David Mitchell from Peep Show, And I have thought about that. Yeah, hell yeah, you're laughing. I have thought about that once a week since, because David Mitchell is very funny and looks like shit. And I am devastated. I am devastated by this comment. And so, yeah, when I put out this record and someone's like, LOL, this is gay on the internet, because that's what the internet is now, I'm going to feel terrible. And I'm also going to read it, and I'm going to. Me having the same name as like the 7th most famous American alive today means I can't Google it, which is great news for my mental health. But like, and like public opinion being not an easy thing, you can just like public opinion. Kevin Hart is going to be 9,000 things before you get to me. Thank God, because if it was readily available, I would be just like bad for radio. But that's me staring at my phone as close as my face I can because I can't sleep because I wonder what someone on Reddit says about my stupid fucking band. That's so dumb. Like as like thinking people, we can all acknowledge like us being like, man, I don't think that was our best podcast. I don't know. Like we can acknowledge that that's pretty silly to be, that just like laying in bed thinking about like how like we didn't do it super good and like, oh, this is why Walter's not going to come on the show or like whatever, right?
Right.
Or this is why no one likes my band is because I look like David Mitchell from Peep Show.
I can relate to this though because and we're recording this probably a little 6 weeks or so before the record drops, but just to provide some context, we posted something on our social media page yesterday, and I have been getting absolutely destroyed in the comments. And it's the first time it's been lambasted. It's probably the first time it's been this bad. And I'm like, I'm answering them all with snarky shit back because I'm trying not to care, but I mean, part of you cares a little bit that someone told me that I sit when I pee and I took my wife's last name. Like that's tough,
Okay, now that's good. I mean, that's a couple good commenters right there. Now, did you say something stupid or did you say something honest that somebody took in the wrong spirit?
The latter. I would say we did this or that. I picked Weezer over some bands. People got mad about it. Like it is what it is.
Oh, like, I did see that.
I
did see that. Yeah. So you took Weezer over Soundgarden and somebody was upset about
but like, not because I think Soundgarden sucks. This is just a this or that in the moment in a parking lot. You know what I mean? Like I love Soundgarden. We've done episodes on Soundgarden.
Our podcast name was inspired by a band the lead singer was in.
Yeah.
So we love the record. It's 10 songs, 23 minutes. I've listened to it like for the last week. I think I've listened to it like 3 times a day, and you don't really realize it. And you know how like you listen to music and there's no intention of like remembering the song, it just happens. Well, that's how it happened. Like I'm not like I'm remembering parts and my kids are talking about the claw machine and it happened. Not against my will because I fucking love it, but it just happened. It's interesting how that happens. And I think with this LP, it's like 10 songs, 23 minutes. It doesn't take long. You listen to 2 or 3 times and you get the melody down. You might not know the lyrics, but you know the melody.
Well, and you should listen to it 2 or 3 times. We're telling people. That's why we're having you on, because we think people should listen to it 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 times.
Baby.
Yeah.
Please support the skin. That is an active part of the thing that I do with the songwriting of it, is that I will make a demo, vocals and all, and then I will play it for somebody that doesn't care about music, especially if that person's a little distracted, and I'll play the song for them. And then at the end, I stop and I say, okay, tell me one thing you remembered about the last 2 minutes. And then it'll be like the third, leaving out on the back porch. I remember the back porch part. I'm like, all right, good. That's a single then. You remembered a part. That is a hook. That is passively coming to you. You were playing doodle jump on your phone. You weren't like, let me focus in on how this thing goes. Okay, we're back in the chorus. It was playing in the background and you remembered a part. Playing in the background. Tell me about this thing. What's the thing about the reaching for the claw machine? Awesome. That is a hook. That is actively choosing where that's kind of like the pop sensibility thing, right? Where you hear a Katy Perry song, you're going to be singing the third chorus because you've already heard the chorus twice and it's so catchy. And it's trying to make every moment of a record that somebody might only listen to once if it's not catchy, try to grab them, right?
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I like, let's make sure that every song has a big part that someone will remember, even if they've only heard it once. Was intentionality going into it. I don't know if necessarily, because like we're in the weeds here, but like the 4th song has like the all my fault, it's all my fault. Like that's not necessarily.
We talked about that. Just that it's in a different like vocal register. It's a cool song. Lucky me.
Lucky me, yeah. It's a talkie. I'm talking the whole time instead of like my soaring, beautiful, Freddie Mercury melodies that I normally do.
Right.
But it is like repeaty enough without being a nursery rhyme that it still sticks with you, and that is the whole thing. Like I try to make music that I would like. I like an awful lot of pop music. I think that comes through more successfully now than it has in the last 7 releases of Public Opinion that we've done so far.
I would agree. And I think you're right. Cause like, I remember the back porch part, even listening to it just the first time. When it came up the second time, I was like, oh yeah, I like that, the way that kicks in there at the end of that song. And you were successful in that endeavor, like getting things to kind of stick in people's heads, listening to it on my couch late at night, getting ready to go to bed, but I wanted to listen to it, give it, 3 or 4 spins before we talk to you. And then again in the car today, and having only, listened to it for the 3rd time, like I'm recalling stuff. Like that's not a lot of bands don't do that. Don't think to do that. Good ones do, I think, because it does make you want to, like, I want to hear that again because I liked it.
Yeah. And there is a time where I think you can overshoot and a thing can be so catchy that it's like it's not necessarily good. It's just like stuck in your brain. Like I feel that way about cream on the outside, clean on the inside, ice cream paint job. I haven't heard that song in 15 years. And I think it all the time because it's like Farmer in the Dell style. Like this is just a nursery rhyme to me. But if you could successfully do that in guitar music without it being like, here comes the goofy little nursery thing, I think it makes your band better. I think it makes it resonate more with the listener because we only have a finite amount of, everyone's only got this much attention span anymore.
Absolutely.
Not to be old man yells at cloud, but
true.
You're not buying a CD, so now you feel invested and you need to listen to the 10 songs. You're going to listen to the one song, maybe the second song, and you better make an impression or those people are on to the next.
Coming from a non-musician, does that process get easier? Like, would 2020 Kevin, could he have gotten there? Or does it just take reps and, touring and continuing to songwrite and, working with Brad or whoever? You know what I mean? Like that, dialing in the sound.
I think it's a thing where the reps matter.
Because in my head, it's like, either you have it or you don't. But then, like, the more we talk to people, it's like, no, like, that band sucked at the start, and now they're great. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And, like, even beyond that is, like, that band might have sucked at the start, but you also didn't hear the songs that didn't make it to consumption. You also didn't hear the even worse bands they were in before that.
Yes. Great point.
They were, like, to bring up a point from the episode I listened to today where Vin talked about Glassjaw being a band when they were like 15, and it was like, yeah, but they were also in Glassjaw was not always called Glassjaw. They were in a band before that.
Sons of Abraham, I think. Is it Sons
of
Abraham?
Sons of Abraham. Shout out to Neil, by the way. Shout out to my friend Neil who sang in Sons of Abraham, where you did it, and let's say it's members of Sons of Abraham, but like you only also have heard the Sons of Abraham stuff that made it to air. You didn't hear the stuff that they wrote and then tossed. Reps matter. So like we have let's say 30 songs that you can hear. I've probably written 100 of them. A lot of it gets left in the dust, but trying is important. This is like when I think Radiohead very famously hates Creep because they don't want to play songs from that early in their career anymore. They are now a different band, but then you kind of have to because it's fucking Creep and it's got 1 billion plays or whatever on the internet, and people have paid money to come see you play Creep. And it is a thing where it's like, that's a great song. However, in their mind, everything on Kid A is better, everything on In Rainbows is better because it is more representative of where they are. It's close to where they are now. They have probably progressed as a band in the same way, where like there's songs on my first record that I think are very good songs that are so much worse than the songs that I'm putting out now. But I would also believe it if somebody was like, I like the 2-song demo more, Kev. I would like, I understand those songs are good because there was 20 songs before that got thrown away. So this was still a final product at a time. That was not the first song I'd ever written in my life. That was like we tried really hard on that, and we try really hard on everything up to this point. But if you listen to the demo and then you listen to this new LP, you're going like, oh yeah, Kevin learned how to fucking write music. This is so much better than it was.
And that's another thing that I don't think a lot of maybe non like obsessive music nerds like us think about is that like they're snapshots in time. We've said this numerous times with people. We've done 20-year retros on albums that we love, and they still play some of those songs with or they play the whole thing, but they're different people now. You're different people. You get better at what you do. You hone your craft. If you're going to be around for any stretch of time, you're going to get better at it because you've done it. So you may hear some of that stuff that, yeah, maybe I loved it because I was 17 and it was awesome when it came out and it, made a splash, but you cringe at a couple of the things that you did because you're better at it now. Like that's just human nature. You're going to get better at it if you do it.
Yeah, like, and that can be across any form of creative thing. Like, I'm sure, like, Wes Anderson going back and watching like Bottle Rocket now would be disgusting. He would be so bummed on it. Yeah, because he's grown so far, and even if like I love Bottle Rocket, like what he's doing now is more representative of where he is now, and he can see all the things that he doesn't like about it, and he can see where the failures and the lessons were learned. I can do that same thing listening to old Public Opinion records. I'm sure the guy from Queens of the Stone Age, just because I'm seeing the poster, like can listen to the first record and go, oh, I should probably should have zigged when we zagged on that, huh? That probably would have landed a little bit better. And like there's going to be progression made, and you're going to get better at the craft, even if your progress does not align with, pardon my phrase here, public opinion on your craft, right? Where like,
true.
There's the reason that 20-year tours happen and 10-year tours happen is because people really, really liked that for the moment that it was. Now, that could have been you were in college when Third Eye Blind's self-titled came out, and that's why it means so much to you, or it could have been whatever. But, like, that's a snapshot in time. We can, like, according to Steven, the new Third Eye Blind record's probably way better than that record. But when he goes back and plays those songs, more people come to the shows. So you just got to, it is part of the working and entertainment side of the creative aspect of all this.
More people come to the comments and tell me that I sit when I pay, too. So just for liking Third Eye Blind,
Third Eye Blind rips, by the way. Third Eye Blind probably would have won that bracket for me too.
Dude, and I will die on this hill. Of all the bands that we did on that, and I love all of them. They were bands that we liked. That's the reason we did it. I think their catalog is the most consistent. That's just my opinion. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion.
Banger albums.
There's not a lot of fluff in their catalog. Like everything is really fucking good for me.
I yield my time on this because you are correct, sir. There you go.
Oh, man.
So, Kevin, I'm going to ask you the most cliche question on the planet.
Let's go.
What are you stoked about with this album dropping? Like, what are you like? Either the world's going to hear this, or stoked we did that, or anything like that. I love like this pocket where we've heard it, you've heard it because you made it, but the public has not heard it.
Mm-hmm. It's two very opposite things. One, I'm very excited that I get to play these songs live now. I think again, it's the best representation of the band up to this point. My band is also kind of sort of better up to this point live than we are on record. This is feedback I've heard the entire time, which is super rude feedback, by the way. Please do not come up and say that to me.
Can't wait
you guys
to tell
really
you
put
that.
on a show. I don't like your record at all, though, huh?
Can't wait to tell you that when I see you in Portland. Man, I like the record, but then I saw you live. Shit.
And man, that record honks, dude. You stink. I'm very excited to play these songs live. It's a representation, obviously, being the lyricist. A lot of this stuff is important to me. I'm excited to get to like be myself and put this out to the world, whether it's playing to nobody in Portland, like we talked about, again, joking, or playing these Quicksand shows that should be like pretty well attended shows. I'm excited that I get to show the creative thing that I've spent a lot of time working on to a lot of people that came for something, maybe not necessarily to see us, but then are going to be exposed to us because they came to see something very similar, Quicksand, Sparta, Bane, whatever it is. The other side is I'm excited for like the normal people in my life to hear it and go, oh, this thing Kevin has dedicated his life to for a really long time now has a polished record that is representative of what he thinks it is. And that they get to, like, my wife's mom, like my mother-in-law, like she will get to hear the record and be like, oh yeah, okay, Kev is good at this. That's exciting. Coworkers at work that are like, so Kev's leaving for tour again? What the fuck is that about? And then I get to present like, oh, this is the thing that I dedicated my life to. This is why you're covering all my shifts all the time, and I'm making no money, and you're making all the money. It's not commemoration. It's like it might be vindication. Is that what I'm looking for here? Where it's like,
a little bit of that, yeah.
Guys, I did it. This is why I'm the way that I am is because I wanted to create something, and I get to finally have like a physical in one hand because I'll have LPs and CDs, but also like, hey, like when I love this question, like, are you guys on Spotify? It's like, yes, yes. Go to Spotify, you will see. You can't see all the numbers, but I have like 1 million plays on Spotify. Yes, I'm on Spotify. Please listen to it. And then the normal people that are not necessarily like into hot water music or touche amore or whatever will then get to hear it and go, oh, right on, Kev.
Yeah.
Ew. You know, and I think that feels really good whenever that does happen. Is like, Kev, I heard your new songs. They're great. It's like, thank you, boss from Starbucks. I appreciate it.
I love it. Yeah. The vindication is, I mean, it's part of why you put stuff out there, I think, is you want people to relate to it, vibe with it, like it, and tell you you did a good job. I know I like that. That's just me being, me, but I like when people are like, yeah, check that out. That was really good. Whenever we hear from somebody that I did not think checked us out, I'm like, cool. I had no idea we reached to you. No clue. And that's awesome that you dug it.
Yeah. Who doesn't like praise?
Exactly.
Who doesn't like praise, man?
Lying if you say you don't.
Or you're a sociopath, which is also totally fine. Not illegal.
Yeah.
To me, it's funny. I was thinking, well, when my son was into the song, and I was like, is he into it because the line? But like, if the song sucked and he heard the line, he wouldn't have been drawn to it, right?
No, right.
And so then I was thinking to myself, how would I describe the music? And I just, in my mind, it's just timeless. The record feels timeless.
Oh my God, that's really nice of you. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even. I mean, we're not going to be the genre place. I don't even know what I would call it from a genre lens. And I think that would be my number one goal as a band. Do not fucking box me in. We are what we are. We're public opinion. That's our genre. We are public opinion.
It is funny when asked about this, where like, because again, I this disrupts my regular life, and I deal with regular people all the time, where like people ask like, what's going on with your band? And so like, depending on awareness, like if people know like the deal and like, oh, I'll just say, okay, we sound like the Hives and American Nightmare if they were one band. That's public opinion.
And they'd be like, who? What the fuck?
Exactly. But then people outside of it's like, well, if I say it's a punk band, they're gonna think I'm in the Casualties, and
Right.
I'm not. So it'll be like, well, it's kind of like a punk band, but like closer to like the Clash or something like that. Than like, and we don't sound like dub band at all. But like we're like a rock band, but then they're gonna think I'm in Kiss, which is also good, but it's not correct either.
Yeah, you should just dress like Kiss on that Sparta tour. Just we're like Kiss. Here it is.
We're gonna have to keep them back like Altamont. We're gonna need to hire extra security.
Yep.
But I don't know, like it's rock music is probably the best way to put it. Like we don't sound like Brian Setzer or something like that necessarily. We're not like a rock and roll, But it's just guitar, just rock music. If you like Third Eye Blind, there's a world you could hear something that you like in this. If you like Tom Petty, there's something you could probably find. If you like Angel Dust, there's something you could probably find that you're gonna like in this. It's the idea is to appeal to everybody. When we did that tour that we got back from the Drug Church White Reaper Spy tour, it was nice because we kind of appealed to the two bases. That like
100%.
Kid, hardcore guy comes to see Spy and Drug Church, and then he'll come buy a record from me, and then he's like leaving before White Reaper plays. Or the kid, the adults that came in the White Reaper shirts to the White Reaper show because they're like excited about the rock music will come up and say something very nice to me, and then be like, "What the fuck is Drug Church? Why is this guy yelling at me right now?" And this happened every night of the tour, and no one's gonna be offended that I said that. I've talked to both bands about
I
this.
could see Patrick liking that actually.
Well, he just thinks it's funny because it'll be like, like Moms and Dave Matthews Band shirts that are trying to buy a shirt for my band and are just like, can this guy shut up already? Where we're as a result, we are just kind of a rock band that we get to do things like go on tour with Drug Church and then also go on tour with Jail.
It's a cool pocket. I would think like it could play CBs in the 70s, or it could
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in the late 90s. It could have been anywhere.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to play with Television or Avail. That sounds great.
Perfect.
Awesome. Perfect.
So record's out on August 7th. This is coming out just a little before that. And you're going out on tour in early September with Sparta. You're going to come through our neck of the woods. We will try like hell to be there. It's a Saturday night for us, which should help. I think it's the week before Turnstile.
So.
I think it's the week before Turnstile. So
it is a week before Turnstile.
Be a big week for us. Or yeah, big 8 days for us there in Southern Maine. We don't get a lot of cool shit, so we'll have some cool shit.
Yeah, tour's hitting what, East Coast? I was looking at it, was like East Coast, and then does it wrap in the Midwest?
Yeah, it wraps outside of Cincinnati. This comes out before there. If you're in the western half if you're on the West Coast, we will be playing there too. But I'm not allowed legally to say when or where that is. But before the end of the year, if you're in a major city west of Denver, we are probably playing your town as well.
Nice, awesome.
Oh yeah,
Lots of chances to see Public Opinion and The Curse live in person, and they're better live, as we've established.
According to everyone who's ever seen my band, we are better live. So come out and witness, I guess.
Let's go.
Portland, Maine. It's at the Portland House of Music. So we do have a decent local listenership. Go to the show. I forget the date. I don't know the exact date.
September 19th.
September 19th. It's a Saturday. Sparta, the almighty Sparta. I mean, what's not to like?
If you like guitars, you're in for a nice evening. That's all I'm going to say about that.
We like guitars. That's stuff that we like for sure. Yeah.
Genreless rock music. You're in for
I love it. I love all of that.
Good stuff.
Well, we've gone for an hour and a half, so we're going to get you out of here. But this was a blast. Kevin, we really appreciate talking with you. A lot of fun, and we're excited for the rest of the year for Public Opinion, and hopefully for the curse to be lifted.
Hopefully for the curse to be lifted. Thank you guys so much for having me. Seriously.
Love it.
Thank you for listening to Podio Slave. We are at Podio Slave on X, Instagram, TikTok, all of the places that you can find us on social media. It's at Podio Slave. We are Podio Slave Podcasts on YouTube. Subscribe to us there. If you want to contact us, hit us up at podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. And hey, if you've got a minute, leave us a review. Tell a friend. We'd really appreciate that. Thank you.
I went back and I listened to an old one that you did with Vin. Because I heard the first, I clicked on the Vin one that you did like pretty recently.
A couple months ago,
in the intro, you were like, "Oh, this is the third time we've had him on the show," and I was like, "That's not going to help me for what I'm doing research for. Let's go back and listen to the first one." And so I went way back and I would like listen to it today and yesterday. But as a result, I did the like all day for the last 2 days, and my wife is ready for me to stop for sure because I just keep mouthing the riff and saying the yeah part. That's Audio Slave, right? That's
it's Velvet Revolver.
Fuck, dude, it's not even a fucking band. That's even worse.
Right? That's Velvet Revolver. Another
I don't know,
Curse of
man.
Public Opinion, man.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
Amazing.
Velvet
That'd be
Revolver
confusing.
slash with
Slash
Weiland?
Guns N' Roses and
Scott
Weiland.
Weiland.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses and Weiland.
and then that is Cornell and
Rage Against the Machine Guys.
In Rage. Yeah.
you see why I would have confused the two.
Oh,
I
totally.
apologize.
Yeah. No, and I
100%.
mean they're awesome too. But that was Slither that you were singing all day, which was
All
their
right,
big
man.
their
Guys-
big hit. Yeah, from the Hulk
guys,
movie.
I'm
Not
thinking
Earl
about
Crisis
it.
Sliver.
We could not to be confused with other customers. We could probably take that part out if we want to. Make me
Yeah,
look
we
like
can take
complete
it out.
dumb shit.
I can take it out.
Jesus.
Yeah, you're good. I'll take it
Nah,
out.
man, we'll leave it. It's funny. It'll be funny.
It could be a secret song at the end. It's fine.
Dude. After 22 seconds of silence on the
Yeah.
final track of the CD of this podcast.